I just finished watching the Jubilee face-off between Monty Mader and Ali under the progressive versus conservative conversation, and I land pretty closely to Monty Mader's position. Let's watch the video.
The idea that feminism demonizes having a husband and children is categorically false. The point that feminism is trying to make is that forced motherhood is a problem. It's the same thing with the abortion argument. I am pro-choice, but I would also love for abortions to cease to exist. It means there's no more for incest. People have access to contraception. There's no fatal fetal abnormalities, ectopic pregnancies. None of that is happening. That would be lovely. But I do not think I have the right to obligate someone's body to go through it.
A lot of the content that I make and a lot of the content that other progressive pastors make will lead to that result. This is a really good video and I encourage you to watch it, but I want to emphasize that the work of having fewer abortions in our society, it is not through policy, it is through community programming, it is through normalizing conversations about sex, it is talking about empowerment and access to healthcare. I think where we really stir the pot is when we think that it is biblical to not be pro-life. So let's go through these scriptures. Exodus 21, when two people are fighting and a pregnant woman gets in between and gets injured either by having a premature pregnancy or by having a miscarriage, the person who injured the woman has to pay up to what her injury is, an eye for an eye or a tooth for a tooth. And here we understand that the woman's body is important. Matthew 19:4 says, "Let the little children come to me." This is actually quite a revolutionary statement. In a society when children were kind of excluded and seen as unimportant, Jesus says, "Let the little children come to me." This is a critique of society and not a comment on abortion. First Timothy talks about how we need to provide for our family and especially our relatives, and that is a sign of faith. Exodus 20:13 says, "Do not commit murder," and in the Jewish tradition in which the 10 Commandments were written, life begins at first breath. And so they're saying, do not commit murder of the living. Matthew 25:40 said, "What you do unto the least of these, you do unto me," talking about visiting people in prison, feeding the hungry, clothing the naked. Romans 13:10 is a recollection of the 10 Commandments, which says, "Do not murder," which again is rooted in this idea that life begins at first breath. Psalm 139, which talks about us being woven in the depths of the earth, it is poetry. It is about how God knew us before time immemorial. Proverbs 6, beginning at verse 16. So this says, these are the 6 things that God hates. And then one of them is hands that shed innocent blood. My beloved, this isn't about pro-life, pro-choice. This is about do not commit murder of the living.